Okay, it is time for Genesis chapter 5. So, here we go. Yep, I need these. So, Genesis chapter 5. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, and after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years, and begat Enos. And Seth lived after he begat Enos 807 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enos lived 90 years, and begat Canaan. And Enos lived after he begat Canaan 815 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 70 years, and begat Mahalaleel. And Canaan lived after he begat Mahalaleel 840 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalaleel lived 65 years, and he begat Jared. And Mahalaleel lived after he begat Jared 830 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Mahalaleel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch, let's pay attention to Enoch. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters. All the days of Enoch were 365 years. Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 182 years, and begat a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 500 90 and 5 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 770, no, were 707 years, and he died. No. Verse 31. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right. Beautiful chapter. I love that chapter. All those, he begat him and he begat them, and I didn't get it. When I first read this, I didn't get it. I'm like, this is boring. But I read it. I read all the begats, and I skipped on to the next chapter. But many, many, many years later, I'm not sure exactly what prompted me to do it, but I made this chart. I made this chart. And you cannot see anything on this chart, but if you could, you would see that it starts here with Adam, and it shows how long Adam's life was. And Adam, and it goes all the way down, and here I have it down to David. But here are all of the begats. And the funny thing that I noticed when I laid these all things out was that these people, through all of these multiple generations, because of how long they were living, you saw Adam lived 930 years. So Adam lived to see his grandson, his great-grandson, his great-great-great-great-great, and his great-great-great-great. Adam was alive when Enoch was living 7 generations later. Enoch was the 7th from Adam. And he was alive when Adam was alive. These people knew each other. These people had faith. They knew God. And this was before the earth was divided. This was before the Tower of Babel, when God confounded the language of the people, because they were all gathered together in one valley, in one area. And they began to do something that was wicked in the eyes of the Lord. He confounded their language, and they scattered throughout the entire world and populated the world and overspread the world. So when these people left to overspread the world, they knew people that knew Adam, that knew God, that walked with God, that saw God, before God became invisible to us because of spiritual death. Before they had to know God by faith the way that we do, these people knew God. Adam and God walked together in the garden. God brought the animals to Adam for him to name. And Adam, you think Adam didn't tell that to all these sons and daughters that he begat? And they all passed it on. God was as common to them as a cup of ice water is to us. And they knew it. And when all of these people were scattered throughout the earth, generations later, it looks like it was maybe about 10 generations. Noah was 10 generations, so 11, 12, 13. So 13 14 generations later, after Adam, was when when people were scattered about the earth. And all of these people, when that happened, Adam had only been dead for how many years? Well, I'm not going to waste my 15 minutes figuring that out, but there was a bridge of people that were alive when that they knew people who knew Adam. So Noah was still alive when I am going to look at this. Sorry. Noah. Where are you, Noah? Noah. Yeah, Noah lived to be 932 years old. He was even older than Adam. And Adam had only been dead 126 years when Noah was born. So you think Noah's dad Lamech didn't tell him about Noah? Didn't tell him about Adam? Oh, yeah, I knew Adam. And Adam told me all about God. And you think he didn't tell Noah about that? Think again. And then Noah, he was alive when he had only been dead for 52 years when the people were scattered across the earth. That's why the stories of Noah and the ark are all over the world. That's why these people took these things with them. There was knowledge of God in the earth. There was knowledge of God in the earth. Okay, a couple other things that I want to bring out in this last little over 2 minutes that I have left. So there was a purpose in all of that. So-and-so begat him. He lived this long and then begat them and da-da-da-da-da. Because if that had not been broken out like by that way, I would never have been able to make that chart. And I would have never been able to make that connection that these people were alive and they knew each other. And guess what? Abraham was alive when the Tower of Babel took place. These people had faith for a reason. They have faith for a reason. Enoch. I want to take this last time to talk about Enoch. Enoch was the seventh from Adam, and he is mentioned in the book of Jude. And I'm going to see if I can go there so quickly. And I love Enoch. There is a book that is an extra biblical book that I am not ashamed to tell you that I read and I love. It is the only extra biblical book that I really feel comfortable reading because of what I'm about to read to you. There may be others that are okay, but, everything that I've needed has been in the pages of the Bible. So here is Jude, which recommend that you read Jude. It's the shortest book in the Bible. It is only one chapter. So I'm in the first chapter of Jude, which is right before Revelation. So verse 14, 45 seconds. And Enoch also, remember Enoch? The seventh from Adam prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Enoch just told you from Genesis about the coming of the Lord, about the day of the Lord. He is coming with, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints. There was something special about Enoch. And all the rest of them, they lived this long and then they died. But Enoch, they didn't tell you how long he lived. They said he walked with God and he was not, for God took him. God bless you.